Buffering by Brock, Veracruz Mexican Restaurant, The Shed Batting Cages, Town and Country Market in Stover, Danner Roofing and Construction, Vicki Devine with eXp Realty, the Miller County Health Center, Citizens Farmers Bank in Stover, First Choice Realty, Chris Weeberry Agent, H&R Block in Versailles, and Lake Regional Health System. Now, coverage of the Stover Tournament on KS95.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's presentation of KS95 Sports. Yes, let's see how long before I say tonight's presentation, just because I'm used to that. On this Saturday morning, we are live from the Stover Tournament, one of my favorite tournaments to work throughout the year, mainly because it is about 1.5 miles from my house. So that makes things real nice. I'm Colton Taylor. Back with me again, the coach, Jason Vansel. Jason, I almost forgot what you looked like, buddy. It's been so long. How you been?
I've been good, man. Just enjoying this time off, honestly.
It's been weird. A full week with no games, but now easing back into things with a really good one on this Saturday morning, as we're going to have the Tigers of Greenridge facing off with a K-Singer foe in the Stover Bulldogs. Should be a good match, as this is the 4-5 matchup of the Stover tournament. And an interesting layout for the Stover tournament, as while this game is going on in the old high school gym, the one that, old people like me grew up playing in, there we have the Versailles Tigers facing off with Holden. The winner of these two games will face each other in the semifinals at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. The losers of these two games will face each other in the next round semifinals, the consolation side of the bracket as well. But these are two teams very familiar with each other, being K-Singer foes. Very similar records, as Stover comes in at 7-1, Greenridge comes in at 9-1. And Jason, it's always big if you're Stover when you host your own tournament. That opening round is huge, because if you can get on the winner's side of your own bracket, it changes the complete demeanor going into the next game.
Yeah, if you're Stover. We've got some people there. If you're Stover, this is your tournament, man. This is your house, and I think you want to come out and hit it strong from the get-go. Get it done, especially when you're looking at that second round of who you might be able to see here in your home gym. So we'll see.
And there's a lot of things like that we'll talk about here in just a bit. We'll get back with your H&R Block pregame show, but this is the Danner Roofing presentation of KS95 Sports live at the Stover Tournament. We'll be back in just a moment.
When you're looking for a new furnace or air conditioner, price is important, but warranty, reliability, and efficiency are big factors too. At DeGraff & Reed Heating and Cooling, you'll receive very competitive pricing on the industry-leading AirEase products. Every AirEase product is built on 80 years of experience, testing, and research. Servicing the Lake and Jefferson City areas for nearly 15 years, DeGraff & Reed Heating and Cooling, for reliable products offered by reliable people, called DeGraff & Reed Heating and Cooling.
Since 1944, Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company, Morgan County's only locally owned lumber yard, has been providing the area with quality building materials needed for its building, remodeling, and repair projects. Because customer care is Carpenter Gunther's #1 goal, your project is always their priority. They take as much pride in your project as you do. Reach them at 378-4433 Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4:30, and 8 to noon on Saturday. Carpenter Gunther, where they put the home in hometown business.
Dunn Property Management is currently taking applications for over 30 one-bedroom, one-bath units in Eldon. These units are for ages 55 plus. Rent includes water, trash, snow removal, and lawn services, and can be pet-friendly upon approval. Locally owned and operated with full-time maintenance staff and office manager. They are close to churches, the senior center, shopping, and parks. For more information, call Dunn Property Management, 573-569-1200.
And we're back at the Stover Dome. That's not just what I call it. That's the actual name of this place, the Stover Dome. What a beautiful facility, Jason. This gym, not very old at all, built just a few years back, but it gives the vibe of like a small college gymnasium.
Yeah, you kind of get the State Fair college kind of feel, I think, when you're in this place with the track up high, and it kind of feels like you're in a whole beautiful facility. Great job by the school administration to get this place.
Look at this rough crew we got standing in the doorway down there. I see
Lord.
Michael Merritt with a Dave Campbell beside him.
There's about 37, 38 fouls standing in that doorway down there.
Oh, I know that's the truth.
David's about 30 of them.
That's being generous, or that's being kind for that matter, too. I will remind you, this game streams at MoSportsZone.com. A little bit later on today, we'll be back with the Stover and Versailles girls, which I think has the makings for another great matchup as well. And that game will not be on the radio. That game will only be on MoSportsZone.com. Mizzou, they do play more than one sport, it turns out, as they have a basketball game. A little bit later today, I think pregame for that starts at like 1 or 1:30, so that kind of overshines the radio coverage. And I'm sitting here thinking, JT, who does Mizzou play today? Thank you. Is that a 1 or a 1:30 pregame?
1:30.
Thank you very much. See, I tell you what, this new board up might actually work out. 1:30 pregame for Mizzou and Central Arkansas, but we will have coverage of the Stover and Versailles ladies at MoSportsZone.com, and we'll try to get some updates. I'm sure Jason probably knows somebody over in that other gym that can let us know how Versailles and Holden is going. Yeah. It's just, in complete honesty, with the way this tournament lays out, both those games going on at the exact same time, we had to make a decision between which game we were going to cover. And just being honest, the 4-5 matchup sounded more intriguing and like it could be a better game than the 1-8 matchup potentially. And, you know, there's a good chance that we could see both of the teams we're here to cover in the second round. And speaking of that, if you're Stover, Jason, how important is it to you to get a win here so that you could potentially see a future district foe in the Versailles Tigers in the second round?
Well, that's the thing, is not only are they, a possible game down the road in districts, but, it's also a rival, a county rival. It's kind of becoming a little bit more here in the last few years. This game means something to these kids just to get to that Versailles game for a variety of reasons. It's still Stover Versailles, and that's something I'd kind of like to see come back. The last few years, a little bit of a rivalry there again, like it used to be back in the old days. So,
no, and it's great. I think that competitiveness amongst schools this close is huge, and there's a lot of that in this Stover tournament. The field offers a lot of competitiveness as you look over another 7 miles down the road. The Cole Camp Bluebirds back in this gym.
Another huge rival right there, historic rival for Stover.
And boy, Britt is just in amazement. I bring a TV to one game, and suddenly she thinks things are cool. That's Jason, you've got the best seat in the house, by the way, with that.
Screens generation, so the more screens, the better.
That's very true. But yeah, the Cole Camp Bluebirds from right down the road, they'll be here, and I look forward to seeing them. They'll play a little bit later on today. We did not get to see Gentry Diekman play in that game, and Gentry is the 6'5" center for the Cole Camp Bluebirds. When we had Cole Camp Versailles early in the year, I've heard he's an outstanding player.
He'll change everything being in that lineup.
Oh, yeah. When you have a rim protector like that back, it makes a huge difference. But the game we're talking about right now, Green Ridge and Stover, two teams that both come in with only one loss on their record. And both of them have very similar schedules coming in. As I was trying to think of the way I wanted to phrase that. Both teams that have kind of started off the year playing some Class 1 schools with a couple bigger ones mixed in there, and they've seen a lot of success. Each team only one loss on their record. The lone loss from the Stover Bulldogs was to Iberia. And Jason, we both know Iberia always has a pretty solid squad, so there's no shame in having that as the one loss on your record.
No, it's a crazy little town out there in the middle of nowhere. And I know in the past they've always had some big dudes. But they had a team a few years ago with like 2 6'5" kids or something like that. It's been a little while. And their girls teams have been big. I mean, it's like, how in the world do you get, in this little spot in the middle of the woods, all these big kids and some great athletes out there?
I can tell you in 2014, I know that Iberia played for the state championship.
Yeah.
I only know that because the team that defeated them absolutely destroyed my team that year, Sacred Heart, as they went undefeated that season. And really, there's an argument to be made that Iberia probably should have won that game, but that's neither here nor there. That's the lone loss for the Bulldogs, so you don't really think too much into that. Before the game, for our coaches interview, actually, the Dunn & Associates coaches interview, I caught up with assistant coach of the Stover Bulldogs, Wyatt Espinoza, good old Coach Espy, and I asked him, what can we see from your boys tonight? He said they've really been working on their straight man defense. They didn't play a lot of it in the past. They're going to see a lot of man defense in this one, but they know Green Ridge is going to hit them with some pick and roll. So he does a lot on the defensive end, and he said he'd been working with his boys on hedging those screens. Said the Green Ridge, once again, very strong pick and roll team. If you can hedge those screens, it's going to give your defense a second to readjust and catch the roller before he gets a free lane to the basket.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Espinosa is an extremely bright young coach. So if that's what he's doing, I guarantee it's going to work, because I haven't seen many good coaches like him, his age especially, in this area in a long time, man. He's the real deal.
It is worth noting a big loss for the Stover boys, as literally and figuratively, as they are without their starting center, Big Jimmy Black, as he broke his foot earlier on in the season and will not be able to play today. Stover, though, a little size on this roster, will be able to make up for it still. Well, we are just about ready to get to our starting lineups and the opening tip for this game, but first we'll get to the national anthem, and it does not go over our headsets well, so we'll go ahead and take a break and be back with your starting lineups in just a moment. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Town & Country Supermarket in Stover invites you to shop with your local grocery store for fresh produce, meat cut in-house, and hot deli items for your dinner solution. Town & Country Supermarket, open Monday through Saturday, 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Sunday. Follow them on Facebook to see their weekly sales ad. Best of luck to all the teams in the Stover basketball tournament.
When you step outside and smell the aroma of delicious smoked meat, you know you're in Stover. At Patio 52 Bar and Grill, they smoke their meat for melting your mouth, pulled pork, burnt ends, and the biggest burgers around, all with sides and a drink of your choice. Patio 52 Bar and Grill on Highway 52 in Stover.
Good luck to the area teams competing in the Stover tournament from Patio 52 Bar and Grill.
Sacalaris Ford in Versailles is proud of their growing customer base. When a customer and their family has bought 18 Fords from the Versailles location, you know the team is doing something right. The Versailles Ford Store sales department customer viewpoint is 100%. That means that every new vehicle sold, the customer is literally 100% satisfied. Sacalaris Ford in Versailles is big enough to serve you and small enough to care. For brand new Ford products, Ford certified pre-owned, service, tires, and Ford parts and award-winning customer satisfaction, it's Sacalaris Ford of Versailles.
Divine and the Land Pro team will provide you with excellent service and more than 25 years of combined knowledge of the local real estate market. Looking to buy or sell land or farms in Miller, Morgan, or Camden County? Call Chuck Yo, the Land Pro, at 573-280-4452. Victoria Divine makes finding your next home enjoyable, utilizing the latest technology to bring buyers and sellers together. Buying a home is a big decision. Trust Victoria Divine to handle all the details for you. Divine and Associates, powered by eXp Realty, located across from Wood Supermarket in Eldon.
And we are back here with KS95 Sports, getting ready for the opening tip of this matchup between Green Ridge and the Stover Bulldogs. And I'm going to have to get on to Coach Espinoza. He gave me the starting lineups for Green Ridge, and I'm realizing he was off on one, I believe. Uh-oh. I think so. I'm looking out there. Which one did he miss? I've got 4-14. No, he was correct. My bad. I doubted Coach Espy for just a moment, but, well, no, he wasn't correct. There's not a 1 out there.
No, I don't see a 1.
Nope, it's 20 instead of, okay, now I see what I did wrong. Okay, we'll start with the Green Ridge Tigers under head coach Jason Cannon. Number 1, Mateo Rivas is not starting. That's the one that Wyatt said was starting that is not. I'm sorry. Number 4, Abraham Rivas. Number 12, Lucas Mason. Number 14, Weston Crawford. Number 20, Wyatt Crawford. And number 40, Mark. I'm not going to try to pronounce that last name because I know I won't do it justice. Starting for the Stover Bulldogs, number 2, Landon Ettinger. Number 21, Gavin Weltman. Number 22, Cody Mosier. 23, Jaron Belt. And 53, Jay Monroe. This game streaming at MoSportsZone.com. Belt on the opening tip-off controls the tip. The Bulldogs will get the first possession in this one. They're in their home whites going to the basket to our right versus Green Ridge in their road purples. Green Ridge coming out. Looks like a matchup zone maybe. No, it's a box and 1, excuse me.
Yeah.
You don't see that a ton. They go inside to Belt. That is Stover out to Monroe. He lines up a 3 and knocks it down. Good start to the game for the Bulldogs. Jay Monroe with the bucket on the opening possession. That's big when you can hit a shot like that on your first trip down the floor. Back the other way, looking for an answer for Green Ridge. Shot too strong. Good rebound pulled in by Ettinger. Landon wants to run, gets to the middle of the floor, dishes it out to Jay. He's got another look from 3. This one off the back iron won't fall. Rebound hauled in by the Tigers of Green Ridge. Bit of a quick pace to start this one. On the attack is Crawford for the Tigers. Gives it up to Rivas. Back to Crawford. Bulldogs in straight man defense to start this, or is that a... Well, I can't identify defense.
I can't tell. Honestly, I'm sitting there trying to figure it out, too.
It looks like a man defense, but then they have Belt just floating in the middle. Nonetheless, they get the defensive board. Monroe attacks. His shot too strong, won't go. Fought for between Belt and Monroe. Tipped out of bounds, last touch by the Tigers.
Monroe coming out aggressive so far.
Yeah, 3 possessions, 3 looks for Monroe, but they've been good looks.
Yeah.
Stover to inbound under their own basket, leading 3-0. They get it straight into Jaron Belt. He's in a crowd of players. They're going to say he took a step too many.
Yeah, kind of slid those feet just a little bit. He's still a youngster.
The progression in his play, though.
Oh, man, tremendous.
I mean, he's just a sophomore, and he's 6'5", almost 6'6" out there, and very athletic to go with it. Greenridge going to the post, but thinking better of it was Mark. Gives the ball up out to the outside. Attacking the free throw line, nothing there for Crawford. The top of the key is, well, I'm going to have to be more specific with my Crawfords. Weston at the top of the key. Out to Wyatt. Wyatt free throw line jumper, thought about it, but good defense played by Mosier. Contested mid-range jumper up. It's an air ball, but there for the offensive board, put up and in. Weston Crawford, 3-2, the Stover lead. You can tell Stover has the size advantage. Back the other way, 3 lined up from Mosier and knocked down from the corner. 6-2, the Bulldog lead early. So Stover, the offense looks good right now from the Bulldogs.
Coming out strong.
Rivas gets to the short corner, tries to go all the way to the rim. Good defense played by Cody Mosier. He gets the defensive board as well, wants to run. Middle of the floor goes to the corner. Weltman has a look, doesn't want the shot. Needs a little help. He gets it out to Mosier. Cody Mosier, one of the best defensive players you're going to see. I mean, textbook form, gets after it all game long. Monroe had a look at the free throw line jumper, didn't want it. Corner 3 from Weltman off the front iron, won't go. Defensive rebound, hauled in by Wyatt Crawford.
Stover doing a good job of passing the ball around, getting that open shot.
They're passing up good looks for great looks right now. That's what you want to see as a coach. So it is man defense from the Bulldogs. They've just got Belt playing about a step off in great man defense as they force the errant pass into the front row of the bleachers. Ball back to Stover.
With Belt's length, you can kind of let him do what he wants there in the middle.
This is the Chuck Yo, the Land Pro first quarter of play. We've got 5:07 to go. Stover leads 6-2. Reminder, if you're not at the game and you'd like to watch the game, MoSportsZone.com. You can also go back later, watch it on YouTube. Jay Monroe, top of the key, goes to Weltman. He drives back out to Monroe. He's hit one, wants another, and he'll get it. 3 threes from this Bulldog offense early. They lead 9-2 with 4:50 to go in the Chuck Yo, the Land Pro first quarter. Greenridge wants the timeout. We'll take the break as well. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Getz Brothers, let us for you. Getz Brothers, carpet and furniture. Living rooms to dining, mattresses, accessories, carpet, ceramic, vinyl. Come see what's in store. Getz Brothers, let us for you. Getz Brothers, carpet and furniture.
When service and knowledge matters, stop in and see the Getz crew.
If you are Coach Tony Pace or Coach Wyatt Espinoza, you couldn't have asked for a better start from your Bulldogs in this one, Jason.
No, this is a great start, man. Opening up your tournament with 3 threes, that's a pretty good deal.
And what's key to me is your kids have looked confident and aggressive on the offensive end. Greenridge looking for an answer, maybe got away with a travel on the block, looking to attack mid-range jumper up and good off the hesitation for Weston Crawford. Greenridge needed that bucket. Back the other way are the Bulldogs. Ettinger gets to the free throw line. He'll back it back out. He's being harassed by Jack Hoos, who has just checked in. Ball's on the floor.
We got a kick? I think we got a kick.
Yeah, and that whole kerfuffle, it's like it was kicked by a Greenridge player, so the ball will stay with the Bulldogs. 4:20 to play, 9-4 the Stover lead. Ettinger goes back into the backcourt. You see the inbounds pass, straight man defense from Greenridge. Ettinger taking some long strides. His shot too strong. Belt the offensive board, turns around, puts it up, and is fouled.
Yeah, that's a nice take by Belt. Got a rebound with 4 men around him.
He's
back up, go to the line.
He's battling down there with the senior Lucas Mason, but I mean, Belt's probably got 2 inches on Mason.
It's tremendous watching Belt. I had him when I coached him when he was an 8th grader, how much progress he's made in 2 years, man. It's unbelievable.
His first free throw short. Right on line, just needs a little more power. Not too bad of a crowd on hand, especially considering it's, a 10 a.m. game on a Saturday.
No, not too bad.
Second free throw, up and good for Belt. He extends the lead to 6-10-4. Stover over Greenridge here in the Chuck Yo the Land Pro first quarter, about halfway through. Staying with that man defense that's been pretty effective. Quick hands from Ettinger as Weston Crawford was trying to take him to the low block, and he was able to strip it out of bounds. It did go off of Ettinger. He'll stay with the Tigers. Looking for Crawford, can't get it to him. Just checked into the game. Mateo Rivas, he goes deep for the inbounds. Good ball movement from the Tigers. Going to the low block. It's covered up by Mosier. A forced jumper won't climb the iron. Offensive board won't go either. And Ettinger gets the rebound. He wants to run. Staying in the middle of the floor, goes out to Monroe. He steps into a three and knocks it down. Jay Monroe, his third three of the first quarter.
Boy, is hot.
Somebody on that Green Ridge bench is going to have to start yelling shooter when he goes down the floor. Goodness. Rivas on the attack, and it's blocked by Belton. They're going to get him for the foul. I thought he was pretty straight up, but he must have got him with the body. Man, I'm telling you, I've seen Jay Monroe just in like summer stuff and pickup ball. The kid can shoot. There's no doubt about it. It's just a matter of getting him confidence as a shooter. He's not lacking that confidence in this game.
No, he's getting some good shots, man. The ball's going inside. They're getting kicked back out to him for an open three, man. You got to take that one every time.
This has been an impressive start early. And once again, the Versailles Tigers playing in the old high school gym as they are squaring off with the Holden Eagles, I believe. Second free throw not good either, so 0-2 from the line for Greenridge. And we'll get updates as the winner of these two games will match up in the second round. Monroe, he's going to try another three. Give him his fourth three of the quarter. Jay Monroe is on fire right now. 16-4. It's all Bulldogs. This is the 4-5 matchup. Stover's the 5. They're not playing like it, though.
No.
I know that Stover was not thrilled with the seeding and how it worked out, and you got to wonder if they took that a little personally.
I would say so.
And the shot blocked on the other end. Belt got a piece of it. Monroe wants to run with it. Goes down to one knee, keeps the dribble alive, looking like a globetrotter out there. Quick ball movement. Ettinger, step back, three, splashes it home. It is raining in the Stover Dome. 19-4, the Bulldog lead.
Yeah, not one single two-point field goal from Stover so far, and I got 19 points.
To quote Myra Class, three's worth more than two.
Yeah.
You don't need those two-point field goals.
It is when you're making them like this.
This is impressive. A foul on the other end, though. I believe Belt's going to pick up his second, and that will send Mark to the line.
Yeah, that could be a little bit costly here.
First free throw, long. So the Bulldogs going to make a substitution of their own. Mosher going to check out of the game. And in for him, Parker Nardi.
Parker's a good kid.
Second free throw long as well. Greenridge 0 of 4 from the free throw line as they trail by 15 in this first quarter after an onslaught of threes from the Bulldogs.
I don't think they expected this.
Nardi to Monroe. He's got 4 threes. He wants a fifth. This one too strong off the back iron, though. Good fight for the rebound. Nardi was trying to keep it alive between two Tigers. He does so. Ball stays with the Bulldogs. Ettinger will be the trigger man under his own basket. Goes deep to Monroe. Back to Ettinger in the corner. Good closeout by Rivas. Monroe thought about the three. A little spin move middle of the lane. His mid-range jumper too strong. Rebound to the Tigers with 2 minutes to play. 19-4 is the Bulldog lead. Defense has been very, very effective for Stover. They're letting Belt play about a step off as he contests another shot. It touches every part of the iron but won't fall. Nardi comes up with the board and gives it to Ettinger. Going down the left side of the floor, hits the crossover and gets hand-checked for it. He had Mateo Rivas on his heels.
Looks like they got Belt for one foul up there. I thought he had 2 as well.
I promise you, Coach Pace is not going to argue that.
Yeah.
So some quick substitutions as Ettinger will come out of the game. And in for Ettinger, Luke Vibrock checks in. Luke's gotten taller.
Yeah.
If he plays defense anything like his older brother did,
That's a whole other level of defense there, isn't it?
or shoots anything like his older sister did, that girl still has the coolest shot I've ever seen in basketball.
Yeah.
When she came in with that knee brace on for her senior night, and
Yeah, that was cool.
yeah, it was, and a pass a little too hot to handle, out of bounds turnover back to Greenridge. Yeah, because she was in that full knee immobilizer, and they checked her in just so she could start the game. And I think they were supposed to sub her out right away, and Kylie made sure to get a shot off before they could sub her out, and she buried that thing.
Yeah.
So Greenridge trying to find any kind of offense as they trail 19-4 with 1:15 to play in the Chuck the Lamprey first quarter. Good ball movement on the baseline, winds up on the floor, picked up, shot too strong, offensive rebound by the Tigers. It's blocked by Belt. Another offensive board off the block shot, a jump ball going to be called. Quick hands by Nardi. Possession arrow favors the Tigers. You go into the paint right now for Stover. Belt's waiting on you.
Yeah, even if he doesn't block it, he just makes everything uncomfortable for Greenridge.
And Belt will get a breather as Mosier checks back in. So you're trading defense for defense on that one. Lose just a little bit of height, though. Greenridge inbound. Like I said, defense for defense. Mosier gets a tip. It does wind up in the hands of a Tiger. Shot too strong. And Monroe couldn't quite pull it in, just enough to get a tip on it. Back to Greenridge. So Greenridge getting multiple looks on this trip, and they finally make Stover pay for it as Weston Crawford hits the mid-range jumper. 19-6 now, the Stover lead.
And Crawford's been the only offense for Greenridge so far today.
Monroe backs his man down at the free throw line, moving the ball around. Vbrock back to Monroe. We've got 30 seconds to play in the first quarter, a 13-point Bulldog lead. Mosier drives on the right side, goes to the corner to Weltman. He gets to the free throw line. He's got an open look. It rolls halfway down, comes back out.
Yeah, Parker just a little over-aggressive there.
Yeah, trying to pressure the ball. They'll get him for a reach. So Greenridge will have possession with 21 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Once again, we'll be back later on today. Stover and Versailles girls playing. I'm telling you, that game actually, I really think could be a fun matchup. Two guard-heavy teams. And all the way to the rim, a little bit uncontested, was Weston Crawford. He gets the lay-in to go, cuts the lead to 11.
That's 8 points for him totally.
6 seconds to go. Stover's got enough time to get a look. The ball lost, though, on the floor. And they're going to say last touch by Stover, I guess. So ball back to the Tigers. Greenridge has made a little bit of a run here to end the quarter. They're going to have to go quick. It's a full court heave, and it will fall short. We've played one quarter. Stover leads 19-8. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
The goal of the Morgan County Health Center in Versailles is to make sure you feel your best and stay that way. A few of the public health and community services available at the Morgan County Health Center include CPR and first aid training, food safety classes, educational materials and classes promoting healthy lifestyles and activities, children and adult immunizations, and nutrition for expectant mothers and young children through the WIC program. For more information, follow the Morgan County Health Center on Facebook or call 378-5438. The Morgan County Health Center at 104 West Lafayette in Versailles, connecting the community to healthy choices.
And we're back getting ready for second quarter action, as the only way to describe the Stover offense is red hot. They came out like a flamethrower from the three-point line, specifically Jay Monroe. I mean, no disrespect towards Jay by this, but who would have guessed Stover was going to start with Jay hitting 4 threes in the first quarter?
No, I think you hit it on the head. I think they felt a little disrespected by their seeding in their own tournament, and I think they came out ready to play a little bit this morning. Now we'll just have to see, can you hold up? Because this Greenridge team, they're not a joke, man. They're going to get back in this game. This game will be close, I promise you.
And specifically, if you're Stover, you got to keep your eyes on number 14, Weston Crawford. He has been the heart and soul of this Greenridge offense.
100% of it so far.
So Stover with the first possession of the Gladstone Cove Boat Trailer Sale second quarter. Good ball movement as they try to go to the block. It's tied up on the floor and stolen by who else but Weston Crawford. Greenridge could get it down to single digits here. Crawford, beautiful feed on the back cut. Shot won't fall as he had found Rivas. Stover dodged a bit of a bullet there. They want to run with it. It's tipped out of bounds on the fast break. Last touch by the Tigers.
All right, you want a score update for the Versailles game?
I would love a score update.
End of first quarter, 37-3.
What?
37-3.
Versailles is winning, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming that it's Versailles.
Oh, my gosh. And a take by Mosier falls short. Rebound to Greenridge. All right, so Versailles is probably going to the second round of this tournament. That's, And back the other way quickly. The lay-in up and good for Lucas Mason. We've got a single-digit game here with 7:15 to go. It's 19-10 now, the Stover lead.
Yeah, Greenridge isn't going to go away quietly.
No, and a steal. Out and running is Crawford. Avoids the contact, but thought about it too much. His layup won't go. And rebound controlled by Monroe, and he is fouled. So Stover, a little bit of sloppiness on the offensive end these last few trips. They got to clean that up.
Yeah, you got to clean it up. You got to keep that momentum you built up early in this game.
I'm sorry, you said 37-3?
37-3.
Does Ryder have 35 already?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Goodness. Stover leading by 9 with the ball. 7 minutes to go in the Gladstone Cove Boat Trailer Sales second quarter of play. Reminder, you can watch this game MoSportsZone.com. We'll have the girls game on MoSportsZone a little bit later on. They go to the block to Belt, and he is fouled on the catch. You almost, to a degree, feel bad for Wyatt Broche that got called for the foul because Belt, he's so athletic and active down there. That's what I really like is you see a lot of big guys that they plant themselves, they just stand there.
Yeah, they're slow-footed, not very athletic.
Belt
He's not.
No, he's always moving. Those feet never seem to stop for him, and that makes it impossible to guard. Mosier in the corner, facing a double team. Goes out to Weltman. Pass fake, trying to free up some space. Gets it to Monroe. Inside, good pass out to Ettinger. Lines up a three, goes halfway down and comes back out. So the threes have cooled off a little bit for the Bulldogs. Crawford up the floor to Rivas. Stover staying with the straight man defense. It's been good. It's been very good for that matter. Really causing issues for Greenridge. They go to the low block. Mosier trying to deny the ball, drives his man baseline, forces the steal to Mosier. Mosier pass ahead to Ettinger, puts it up, rolls it up and in over the front iron. 21-10, the Bulldog lead. Great lead pass from Monroe and a great finish from Ettinger. Sometimes those fast break layups when you're contested are some of the hardest to make. Rivas gives it up to the other Rivas.
Monroe just all over him.
Dude, this is an aggressive Stover team right now. I am impressed. Crawford to Rivas in the corner. Monroe waiting for him. Trying to go to the low block. A good post move, turning, forcing the shot up. A better defense by Belt. The rebound winds up in the hands of Weltman. Fast break. He goes right at the defender. Yeah. And a good job getting back, setting his feet, and drawing the charge by Mateo Rivas.
That was a good call. Gavin knows he did it too. Belt did a great job down there on defense. It would be so easy for a kid like him to want to jump and swing at everything.
For sure.
He just stays straight up and plays smart on defense.
And that is such a hard thing to teach at this age because nothing's cooler than sending somebody into the third row of the bleachers.
Send it up there in the Clark's tire sign or something.
Exactly. But no, he is very disciplined on the defensive end. Greenridge back on offense, trying to find anything against the stifling Stover man defense.
They are on him.
Crawford shot fake, free throw line jumper forced and won't go. And all over the back of Belt. No whistle, though. Offensive board. Belt gets up, recovers to contest the shot. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Stover. I mean, Belt was physically on the floor, jumped up, got his hands up, and still contested the shot.
Yeah, they were trying to get that shot off before he got back up, but didn't work.
So Greenridge get another look at it, inbounding under their own basket. 21-10, the Stover lead with 5:14 to go in the second quarter. Winner moves on to the semifinals of this Stover tournament. Three lined up and won't fall. Good look there from Mason. Greenridge on the offensive board, gets it back to Mason. He gets inside, up and under move. And it falls home. Lead cut back down to 9.
Nice shot.
37-3.
Yeah, my informant said Ryder had around 18 points and Tristan had 5 dunks.
Well, 5 dunks?
Has like 5 dunks. That's what they said.
This is after 1 quarter of play, right?
That was with 1 quarter.
All right.
Versailles might be wanting to try to make their own little statement today, too.
What is that, the race to 100? Inbounds to Belt. Nice spin move on the block.
Job.
He split 2 defenders and put it off the glass for the score. My goodness, that kid, he's a sophomore.
I know.
Oh, he's going to be a problem for some people. K-Senior Conference better be on notice. I want to watch Stover and Colcamp because I want to see him and Colcamp's big guy go at it. Greenridge looking for their own offense. Crawford lines up a 3 at the top of the key off the back iron. Shot too strong, tipped around. That might be the only weak point I will say for Stover. They have given up a lot of offensive boards, but the pass errantly thrown to the backcourt. Ettinger back to meet it. Scoop shot off the glass and in. Heads up play by Ettinger to see the errant pass, pick it up and run with it, and Stover back out to a 13-point lead.
Yeah, they just keep pushing that lead back out.
Greenridge trying to stop the bleeding, so to say. Monroe, a near steal. Jay is playing a fantastic game right now.
Yes, he is.
Crawford working against Ettinger. Works it to the left side. Once again, Monroe there on defense as it was Max Tyler who had checked in. Crawford now at the top of the key. Back out to Tyler. Monroe giving him no room, though. They look for the back cut, find Crawford. His little fadeaway jumper will go. Another offensive rebound for Greenridge. Tyler's mid-range jumper, and it's blocked. Mosier got a piece of it. And then a foul committed by Greenridge afterwards.
Yeah, even when they get an open look, man, it's just not easy.
And a timeout going to be called by the Stover bench, actually. Coach Pace wants talking now. He'll take a full break. We'll take a break as well. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Hi, I'm Brandon, and welcome to Gladstone Cove Boat Trailer Sales. Do you need a trailer to get your boat out of the water? Maybe just a replacement trailer. Or considering selling your boat and you know a trailer will help get it done. We carry 11 lines of high-quality boat trailers, and if we don't have what you need, we also build our very own line of custom aluminum boat trailers. Thanks to everyone that's been by or just heard of us and gave us a referral. From my family to yours, we can't thank you enough.
And we are back in the second quarter, the Gladstone Cove Boat Trailer Sale second quarter. 3:28 to go. Stover leads Greenridge 25-12. Jason, this Bulldog defense has been fantastic.
Yeah, they've done a great job. I mean, they got Belt just kind of trolling around the middle, sagged off of everything, and everybody else looks almost manned up. And they are playing hard.
I mean, Jay Monroe is overplaying the ball. Ettinger has been jumping passing lanes. And a deep three for Weltman. Or was that a lob?
I think it was a lob.
Yeah, I think that was a lob supposed to look like a pass. As Belt got it, tried to put it in. It was contested and wouldn't fall. Greenridge back the other way, trying to get to the paint before Belt gets there. But that's the other thing. Your big man runs the floor for you, too.
Yeah.
Getting the ball inside to Crawford. He used an up and under move working, but Belt there to contest the shot and pull in the board.
Once again, he didn't block it, but he just messes it up for you.
This kid is an eraser. Ettinger to the corner, three on the way from Weltman, won't go. Offensive board, Belt. Out to Monroe, to Ettinger. He drives, almost using Belt like a lineman to create some space. He gets fouled, and he'll go to the line for two.
That's some good physical basketball right now.
I'm telling you, I know it sounds like we're just ranting and raving on Jaron Belt, but, like, this kid, he doesn't overdo it either. Like, when he got that offensive board, he took one dribble, the double team game, instead of forcing a shot up. So, okay, I'll kick it back out to my guards.
Yeah, and he does a lot of things that don't really show up in the stat column. The almost blocks, the changing of shots.
That was
a great game so far.
One of my favorite sports quotes is Bill Russell. The idea is not to block every shot in a game. The idea is to make your opponent think you might block every shot.
Yeah. And you don't have to block a couple, then the rest kind of take care of themselves.
Second free throw from Ettinger, up and rattles out, but Mosier keeps it alive. Back out to Ettinger, 26-12, Stover by 14, 2:39 to go. Monroe, why not another three? Jake Monroe from down, is that his fifth three?
That is his fifth three.
We're going to have to start finding out what's the Stover record in the game for threes, because Jay's thinking about it. And that's the best look Greenridge has had in a few possessions, as it's knocked down by Lucas Mason. He's able to get to the low block and put it in off the glass. 29-14, Monroe for his 6-3. No, this one's too strong. It comes off the back iron. Crawford has it and wants to run. 15-point deficit for Greenridge on the fast break. They're able to get to the low block, shot put up and in.
It's a nice pass.
It really was. The basket was good for Wyatt Crawford. Monroe at the top of the key. Ooh. And we got the whistles. What's it called? A little hand check there. Yeah, ball will stay with the Bulldogs. 29-16. It's a 13-point Stover. That's basically where this lead has stayed. It's fluctuated a little below, a little above, but Stover has maintained that double-digit lead for the majority of this second quarter.
Yeah, they came out and got that lead quick in this one.
Versailles struggling over in the other gym.
Let's see if I got another update.
I don't know that we need any more updates. First free throw for Monroe up and good. I'm about to start cheering for Holden. Man, that's bad. 37-3. You have to judge the amount of dunks a team has by about 5 or like 5. Second free throw up and good too. 31-16. So Stover regains a 15-point lead. Crawford on the point, gets to the free throw line, gives it up. Little weave offense results in a free throw line jumper that won't climb the iron. Rebound controlled by Monroe. He tries to break the defense by himself and does so. Ettinger attacks baseline.
Nice
Little
move.
Euro step and lays it in.
That was sweet.
33-16. Bulldogs in full control in this one over their Casinger foe. I mean, this is big because the Casinger, from what I've been told, and what a move by Crawford.
Nice
He gets
job.
Belt in the air and finishes around him. But from what I've been told, the Casinger's wide open on the boys' side this year.
I believe that to be true.
And an errant pass stolen by Green Ridge. They trail by 15 with about a minute to play here in the Gladstone Cove Boat Trailer Sale first quarter. Going to the low block, up and in, another basket for Wyatt Crawford.
I don't think you have one single team heads and tails above anybody else in the Kasinger this year.
No, so if you can continue this way and get a double-digit win over a Kasinger foe, that's a big message to the rest of the conference. And a strong take by Mosier. He uses his body to create space, finishes off the glass. 35-20. The Bulldog lead. We've got 39 seconds to play here in the first half. Crawford to the free throw line, gives it up. Going to the low block, working against Belt. He swats that one. He doesn't normally swing, but if you're going to put it in his hands, he'll send it back to you.
No, that was an easy one to swat there.
Ettinger's spin move around the defenders, gets his own miss, tries to put it back up, and is fouled. He'll go to the line for two.
Landon is playing out of his mind right now, man. He is playing hard.
I mean, this whole squad is. You can say that about most of them. Mosier has been super aggressive on defense. He had a great take on the baseline. Jaron Belt is a man among boys in the paint right now. And Jay Monroe is out here playing like the second coming of Larry Bird. So they're having fun.
Playing like they almost got a little chip on their shoulder.
First free throw is long. I like that, though.
I do too.
Especially, I mean, you know, we know Versailles' a little chip on their shoulder for other reasons, too. I want to see two teams with chips on their shoulders go at it in the second round.
I do, too.
Second free throw for Ettinger. Up and good. 36-20. Back to a 16-point lead for the Bulldogs. Crawford on the attack. He gets to the short corner. His shot too strong, and Belt was there. I can't scientifically prove it, but I'm telling you, he forced that shot because Belt was there.
Yep, every single time.
4 seconds to go. Ettinger gives it to Weltman in the corner. I don't know if he sees the clock. He gets it off just before the buzzer and couldn't bank it in. We've played one half, and it's all Stover, 36-20. Hy-Vee halftime show coming up in just a moment. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Emmy's, a boutique with a warm and welcoming atmosphere, is a cute little boutique that carries something for everyone, from infants to adults. Emmy's has all new adult and baby clothes, purses, home decor, and new kitchen gadgets. Emmy's, a boutique, invites you to come out and check out their location at 111 West Jasper in Versailles. Emmy's, open Monday through Friday, 10 to 5, and Saturday, 10 to 3.
It's not called a farm won't or a farm can't. It's the Case IH Farm All Series, and it's available now at Crown Power and Equipment. And instead of telling you that the Case IH Farm All can do baling, mowing, pulling, raking, and digging, we'll just give you the list of things it won't do. Ready? Nothing. Get your Case IH Farm All Series today at Crown Power and Equipment and find out why Can Do comes in red. Crown Power and Equipment. Passion, power, performance. Find a location near you at crown-power.com.
From the snap of the ball to the last play of the game, Danner Roofing and Construction specializes in commercial and residential roofing. Danner Roofing and Construction works hard all 4 quarters and completes every job from start to finish with no money down. No time is wasted on the clock, and the seasoned pros bring home the win every time. When your home or business is ready for a roof or repair, depend on Danner Roofing and Construction. 4 generations of roofing experience and the team to get the job done before the whistle blows. Look them up online and Facebook.
Every day, your Jefferson City and Osage Beach Hy-Vee pharmacies are committed to your health and wellness. If you're enrolled in Medicare Part B, Medicare Advantage plans, and most commercial plans, they'll cover up to 8 over-the-counter COVID-19 tests per month at no cost through Hy-Vee. Most plans cover these costs and no prescription is required. Stop in at your Osage Beach or Jefferson City Hy-Vee pharmacy and see the helpful pharmacy staff today.
And welcome back to the Hy-Vee halftime show. 36-20, the Stover Bulldog lead. And I mean, Jason, I don't want to say that I'm surprised because I'm legitimately not. I was doing some looking into this game before it happened. I know both these teams only come in with 1 loss. Green Ridge, a very impressive 9-1 to start the year. Stover 7-1, very impressive in their own right for sure. But for me, it comes out to looking at some of the teams you play and what you have on the roster as far as size goes. And even without the starting center, Big Jimmy Black, Stover has played some lockdown defense, and the paint is basically a no-fly zone right now.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I don't want to say I'm surprised, but a part of me is, because Green Ridge is, I mean, they're a good team. When you look at all they played, yeah, they're not bad at all.
Even similar opponents. I mean, Green Ridge kind of had the edge there. They both played Hermitage. Stover had to go to overtime with Hermitage. Green Ridge beat them in regulation by a bigger margin.
Yeah, I mean, you lose a starter, a big starter at that, and come out and play this way. I mean, yeah, it's awesome if you're Stover. But their defense has just been phenomenal. Jay Monroe, Edinger out there, Mosier, Belt just locking down the lane. And like we said, he's got quite a few blocks, but he's got 10, 15 shots that he changed just by standing there. And that doesn't go down in the stat book, and nobody will ever remember it. But, man, if you watch him, that kid has come a long ways.
Well, and I got to show a little love, shout out to Brendan Bauer, one of the coaches on this For Sales staff. I know he's not here at the moment, but watching the stream, as I see a couple For Sales guys wondering, and I wonder if, do they have some faith? We have a halftime update, by the way, out of For Sales.
Probably want to see what they got next.
What's that halftime score update out of?
55-6.
I feel
Sales at the half over Oldham.
I feel fairly confident saying the winner of this game will get For Sales in the second round. If not,
it would have to be a comeback for the century.
Yeah, I was going to say if For Sales loses that game, Coach Walters might never show his face in public again. So that's, yeah. But nonetheless, in this Stover game, if you're Coach Pace, Coach Espinoza, you're looking at this thinking, this squad can play, and they could be up by even more. There was a stretch there late in the first quarter, early second quarter. They really went cold from three and missed some good looks. It makes you believe the potential for this Bulldog squad, not only today, but going forward in the Casinger Conference. They can really do some damage.
Yeah, especially in a conference that's wide open this year with no real heavy favorite to win it. Stover is just as good a choice to win this conference as anybody.
And the only other teams that I've seen in the conference, we saw the Tipton boys, we've seen the Otterville boys, and now the Green Ridge boys. And I'm here to tell you, Stover can play with any of those teams on any given day. Well, we've seen Cole Camp as well. I believe Stover can play with Cole Camp. I'm trying to think who else I've seen in this conference thus far, but that's a good bulk of the conference right there. And some of the players, what we've seen at them, once again, I'm struggling to wrap my head around. Jay Monroe, 5 threes in that first half. I would really love to know what the record is here for most threes in a game. No. But I would love to know what the record for threes in a game is, because Jay has got to be on pace to be close to it.
See if I can text Merritt and see if I can find out.
I promise you he doesn't hold the record.
No, he doesn't hold it, but he might know somebody that does.
Special thanks, by the way, to Michael Merritt and Tony Pace and Matt Unger and the whole administration over here for letting us be here. They always take good care of us. And I know there's a hospitality room back there that is always fantastic. I don't know if she still does, but for the longest time, Brenda Steffens was always the one in charge of that. And I swear you will not find a nicer woman on this planet than Miss Steffens.
Brenda's a great lady, man. She does a million things over here for this school. It has for 50 years now, 50 plus years.
She's one of those people. I think she retired technically a few years back, but then forgot she retired the next day because she still just keeps doing everything she can
when
for
it's
the
in
school.
your blood, you never retire.
Well, a prime example is sitting up there on the other side of the gym, the namesake for the Stover soccer field, Roy Pointer in attendance. Roy, I know that he retired a long time ago, but Mr. Pointer
Roy's here?
Oh, yeah, he's sitting over on the other side in the very back talking to somebody over by the doorway.
Dumb question to ask if Roy's here. I guess I should have known the answer to that before I asked him.
Mr. Pointer has been here before this gym. He'll be here after this gym. I mean, you don't get a soccer field named after you for nothing, but yeah, he is one of those guys that'll do anything he can. But love being over here at the Stover tournament, and it's going to be a great week of basketball action as we will be covering Stover and Versailles boys and girls through it. Coming up a little later on today, the Stover and Versailles girls will battle it out. That's at 2:30. And a reminder, that game will not be on the radio, but we will have our MoSportsZone live stream up and going of that game. And Jason, that's one of those games that if you just look at the records on paper, you would say, okay, Stover should be the favorite in that by quite a bit. But I will say, don't completely overlook the Versailles Lady Tigers in that one, because these are both guard-heavy teams. And the guard play from Versailles, you've got some promising young guards on that Lady Tiger squad still.
Yeah, Versailles' thing is, first of all, stay in the game, keep it close, and then, like they did over at Cole Camp, then try to win it. They're a team that's learning and growing. I would have to give Stover the nod just because they have a little more experience and Versailles is so young. But you cannot sleep on this Versailles girls team. They have some kids that can play a little bit, and they got a little chip on their shoulder too. They're tired of always starting over every year, but they played well.
And I am excited to see the Stover squad in action as well. Of course, for the Stover Lady Bulldogs later today. It all starts with Ashlyn Pensky, who is a phenomenal athlete on multiple levels. She was a great volleyball player.
Yeah, it'll be a tough one to stop.
Yeah, and the last time I saw her, I stopped in and watched part of their game with Santa Fe, and she either had 30 or was knocking on the door of 30 in that one. Very athletic, 5'9", 5'10" guard that can get to the rim. And, of course, you've got the shooter on the outside in Hanny Bauer, who you got the last name Bauer. You know they can shoot the basketball. It's they're born shooting a basketball if their last name's Bauer. So if you can get those two going early in that game, it can pose some problems. But then the matchup on the other side, I'm sure we're going to see Brooke Anderson and Ari Jones guarding those two.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a fun matchup later today.
It's always fun just when all the girls know each other. That's what I like, is they always seem to play a little harder, and everything's just a little bit better.
And there's some laughing and whatnot going on, and it'll be a good time. It's a little different field this year at the Stover tournament. Usually we've seen Eugene in this tournament. This year, no Eugene, but we do have Boonville in the tournament this year.
Yeah.
So that will be interesting. I don't know a lot about Boonville, but I do know that Eldon is good this year, and Boonville handled Eldon by about 20. So
Well, Boonville's always going to have athletes, and they're always going to be a tough opponent. So they're not any. There is no way Versailles being a number 1 seed feels that they have this thing in the bag by any means, because Boonville's a scary opponent, and they always are.
Oh yeah, it's an interesting tournament layout for sure, but we'll get ready for second half action coming up in just a bit. This has been the Hy-Vee halftime show. Third quarter of play coming up. This is KS95 Sports.
S&S Auto and Cycle in Stover does everything. Full service, diagnostic, maintenance, and auto repair. From tires to turn signals, bumper to bumper, S&S Auto and Cycle has all the latest and most up-to-date diagnostic equipment to be sure to find the problem instead of just throwing parts at it. Stop by S&S Auto and Cycle on Elm Street in Stover and talk shop with the guys, or call 573-377-4731 to schedule an appointment. S&S Auto and Cycle, Missouri Best Winner 4 years in a row.
A full-service graphics company, Wright Printing and Promotional Advertising does it all, from screen printing, offset printing, and promotional advertising to custom-built trophies and awards. It's where they do it the right way. Check out their Facebook page for their monthly special, and don't forget they offer online stores for all your group and activities needs. Wright Printing and Promotional Advertising, across from the Family Center on Highway 52 East in Versailles. Call 573-378-5775.
My apologies, I did not time that very well, but we're back with third quarter action. Greenridge with the first possession of the second half as they find themselves trailing by 16. And on the first look, getting to the block and getting fouled. Going to the line is Wyatt Crawford. He'll shoot 2. Once again, a winner of this game moves on to the semifinal of this Stover tournament. First free throw up and good. You know what I'd really like to know? Oh, it's the 68th annual Boys Stover tournament. That's what I was trying to figure out. Second free throw good as well. So 2 quick points on the opening possession. 36-22 is the Stover lead. Monroe with it. An all right shooting night for him, only 5 threes. We're not sure what the Stover record is. I'm basically going to say if Jay can get anywhere around 7 or 8, he's going to have a shot at it.
Yeah.
Offensive board from Stover off the shot too strong. Mosier's putback won't go either. Rebound to the Tigers. They trail by 14 with the ball. And a steal. Quick hands from Monroe. He took it away from Rivas. Left side of the basket. Scoop shot climbs the iron but won't quite fall. Jay will get 2 free throws. That was great defense from Monroe.
No, they didn't call it a
Oh,
shooting.
wow.
Yep, on the floor.
Okay, I definitely thought he was in the act, but
I did too.
officials are closer to the floor than me. Inbounds to Belt, just lobbing it over everyone. Spin move on the block, and
Yeah.
oh, did he hop when he went at it?
I thought he did at the beginning, but they didn't call him for that one. They called it for whatever he did at the end, and I didn't think there was one there. So.
I thought the spin move was clean, but he must have hopped before. They'll call a travel. Ball back to the Tigers. 7 minutes to go and a 14-point Stover lead. Rivas's free throw line jumper goes off the front iron, winds up in the hands of Weltman. Goes to Monroe in the corner. Ettinger tries to drive. It's taken away nicely by Greenridge. Ettinger will back it out and finds Mosier. Mosier needs a little help. He gets to Monroe, and Monroe gets his feet tied up with the defender. Crawford drops Monroe. Monroe lays there for a second. Says, all right, I'll get up. I got more threes to shoot. Ettinger running the point. Trying to turn the corner, goes to Weltman, corner 3. It's too strong. Rebound kept alive by Mosier, but tapped out of bounds. Ball back to the Tigers. A good look, though, from Weltman.
Yeah, he's got a good-looking shot. The kid can shoot. He's a good young player. So I don't fault him for taking that shot. I'd keep shooting, too.
He is a really good young player. I've heard his younger brother's a really good player, too.
Yeah.
There's a couple, there's a lot of young talent here in Stover, especially you get down to the 6th, 7th, 8th graders. I've seen a couple of them play. Some of these kids, it's ridiculous on the younger side. And a kick ball called against Greenridge?
I think so.
Okay, you don't see that a ton, but on the offensive end at least. Nonetheless, ball back to the Bulldogs. 6 minutes to play, 36-22. By the way, special thanks to JT back at the studio. JT has had a long Saturday as he was in for Country Classics, Country Sale. He got things moved around just to board off for the tournament. And a steal by Greenridge, but a re-steal by Monroe. Jay Monroe is getting it done on both sides today. Ettinger waiting for the screen from Belt, uses it, tries to attack short corner, skips it out. Weltman had a look from 3, instead he'll drive, taken away nicely by Rivas. Tip pass, fought 4, goes out of bounds. We'll say last touch by Rivas of Greenridge.
Yeah, Rivas did a good job moving his feet side to side and replanting himself there on defense. See if Greenridge has got one more big run in him here.
Stover still looking for their first points of the quarter. We got 5:43 to go here in the polylift boat lift third quarter. Monroe lines up a 3. It goes off the front iron. Belt keeps it alive. Tipped around, winds up in the hands of Mosier. He puts it up and in. 38-22, lead back up to 16 for the Bulldogs. Crawford gives it up. Little weave offense over to the other Crawford, Wyatt. I love these teams with the same last name. Jay went for another steal, but he got a little bit of arm in the process. We'll call a reaching foul.
Little update. 4 minutes left in the third quarter. It's 70-13.
Wow, they gave up 7 points in that quarter after only giving up 6 in the first half?
Halfway through the quarter. 70-13.
Oh, coach is going to be livid.
4 minutes left in the third.
Is there any varsity left in that game, though?
I don't know.
Are the varsity even there? They go home. So, yeah, once again, I feel pretty safe saying Versailles is moving on to the second round. Turnaround jumper up.
Nice shot.
That was pretty. Lucas Mason.
Yeah. Old school fadeaway.
38-24. Lead stays at 14. So this has kind of been the area. Greenridge can knock a little off it, but Stover has always had an answer. Monroe on the attack. He has it stripped. Greenridge wants to run. Beautiful feed from Crawford as he finds Mason on the run out. Lead down to 12.
Yeah, just a little bit of a momentum shift here.
I can understand how Greenridge has the record they do. They do the little things right.
Yeah.
Mosier on the attack. Gets to the middle of the floor. Steps it back out to Ettinger. Rips it through. Drives. Takes some long strides. Tried to wrap around. Gets a shot block. Gets his own miss. And he is fouled in the process.
Yeah, Crawford, I think if he would just not jump and just keep his hands up like he's doing, he would have been fine there.
Substitution as Vbrock checks in for the Bulldogs. He'll come in for Jay Monroe.
That hurts because that's Crawford's 4th. There's a lot of game to play still.
Yeah, that's a big foul indeed, as Crawford has been the majority of your offense.
Ooh, wide open.
Inbound up Belt, and he is fouled hard.
I don't mind that foul. Until, I would rather give him 2 free throws than I would give him a layup at 6'5".
That looked like Britt fouling someone out there. Jeez.
Well, you should have to play.
That's true.
Somebody.
That's fair. She'd just be sitting there holding her knee.
Yeah.
First free throw for Belt, up and long. Should have looked at the bracket. I don't know who actually plays next in this tournament.
I forgot.
Second free throw for Belt, up and good. So the next game will be on the girls' side. And it is Knob, Noster, and Holden girls. Steal by Stover, looking to get it underneath the basket. Ettinger's shot won't climb the iron. Ball tipped around, winds up in the hands of Weltman. His shot too strong. Fighting for the rebound, but he tipped it out of bounds. It'll go back to Greenridge.
Weltman's down there working, and it didn't pay off for him in points, but he got a couple steals, and he's in there banging around, working hard.
Love the hustle. That was the one weak point in the first half for Stover, was they gave up a few too many offensive rebounds to Green Ridge, but fighting a little harder on the glass. Rivas has it on the outside, skip pass. Stover in a zone now, it looks like. Long three on the way, won't go, but winds up in the hands of Green Ridge again. So once again, that has been the one Achilles heel, is too many offensive boards given up for Stover.
Gotta use that body when you rebound.
Green Ridge working the ball around the outside, lining up a three from the top of the key, won't go. Rebound winds up on the floor. It's picked up and controlled again by Green Ridge. Foose with the offensive board. He has a look from three, goes to the corner to Rivas. Rivas tries to drive. It's taken away nicely by Belt. The outside, that is Wyatt Crawford. He's harassed by Mosier, who has to give it up to Rivas. Mosier out on him as well. Attacking the baseline, nothing there. The Stover defense has been good. They just are struggling to finish it with the rebounds. Yeah, so getting to the mid-range, Wyatt Crawford. He's in a double team. Gives it up to Hoos. This has been a long possession for Green Ridge. Stover stifling everything right now.
Yeah, just watching that clock, run that time off.
To the short corner, and Mosier all over him, and Green Ridge, they had to burn a timeout. You saw the wheels come up. That was a 40
solid, almost minute possession.
It had to be, and everywhere that Green Ridge wanted to go, Stover was there. I think Mosier guarded 4 different kids in that defensive set and gave none of them a look.
Yeah, when you're down by 13, man, that's not going to get it done with your Green Ridge. You got to get something going, get some momentum, change the other direction, and get rolling here.
You know, if you want to come out and be like, oh, you know, Stover may not always get 5 threes from Jay Monroe and stuff like that, sure, you can say whatever you want about the shooting. It'll be hot some nights and not others. That kind of defensive effort, you can get that every single night if the kids are going to play like this.
That's just effort there. Effort is always there if you want to give it. That's not something that you have to luckily have. That's just something you can give every single night. And right now, Stover, I mean, they could live on that defense right now.
Oh, they absolutely can. I don't know what Coach Pace had to say in the timeout, but I think I'd be saying, what you just did, do it again. Turn it up a notch. Let's see if we can get a steal out of it. Green Ridge to inbound under their own basket. Lob into the top of the key. Free throw line, Belt there to contest the jumper out to the corner. Rivas has it, but V-Brock's out on him. Greener tries to go inside. Finally, a 3-foot up and knocked down. After all of that, it ends with a Wyatt Crawford 3, and it's a 10-point game. This is as close as Green Ridge has been in some time. Mosier backing down his man. Gives it up to Ettinger. He gets to the free throw line, has it stripped, but recovers it. Turns the corner, and a reach-in foul called from behind. That'll be team foul number 5 on Green Ridge, so Ettinger should go to the line here.
Yep.
I don't think the officials have realized that yet. Now they did. That's what I'm here for, guys. Don't worry. So first free throw from Ettinger. Up and good. Yeah, I see little Hanny Bauer down there right now. I told Hanny the other night that I need a big game out of her. I'm expecting a 30-piece out of Hanny tonight. Second free throw up and good as well. 41-29. Stover by 12.
We have a 78-21 game at the end of the third for Sales.
I'm not good at math, but that's a 50-plus point game, isn't it?
I'm going to guess that they've got the JV in.
Well, and a steal by this Bulldog defense winds up in the hands of Ettinger. 2:10 to go. Ettinger on the attack. And they're going to count it. Yeah. Count it a foul. The ref had to pause on that one, but he got the shot to go. Ettinger a chance for a 3-point play. When Landon has that mindset of I'm going to the rim, he is so skilled with both hands. It adds a whole nother threat to the Stover offense.
Oh, yeah.
Ashlyn Pinsky over here just making excuses why not to be on the radio right now. She said something about I have to conserve my energy. There's a 40-point game coming up tonight, and I'm going to need all the energy for it. That's 44-29. The Stover lead with 2 minutes to go in the Polylift Boatlift third quarter. 3 on the way from the corner. Big shot knocked down by Jack Hoos. 44-32. So once again, Green Ridge really not making up any ground, but they aren't losing any either. It's kind of a stalemate for them. And Mosier, I like the take with the left hand. It just wouldn't fall.
Yeah, that damage Monroe did early in this game, man. has just kind of been the difference all the way through.
Honestly, Greenridge has not been able to cover from that J. Monroe barrage we saw in the first quarter. And an offensive board, count it, and a foul. Put back up and good. Lucas Mason, the opportunity for a three-point play, so he could cut it to single digits. I'm telling you, if there's anything Coach Pace, Coach Espinosa are going to be mad about after this game, it's that. It's too many offensive boards have been given up tonight.
There's an opportunity to get better right there for Stover.
Three-point opportunity converted. So it is a 9-point game, 44-35. And I'm not trying to be overcritical of Stover by any means. I'm saying going forward, it's something you can fix. That is, offensive rebounding is an easy thing to fix. And Ettinger, strong take against a bigger defender, puts it up and in off the glass.
Yeah, and the thing is a lot of these are just, you're not getting your body on the other team and boxing them out.
Too much watching.
And in that second round, you're going to have 6'3", 6'5". I mean, you're going to be going against some big muscular boys. And you're going to have to get a body on them if you want to rebound.
That's the thing, and that's potentially, if Stover can hold on here, a district matchup coming up in the next round. But we can talk about that more in the fourth quarter. As a steal, great hands by Mosier. He leads Ettinger on the fast break, takes the contact, puts off. They're going to call Landon for the charge. I don't know if the defender was set or not. That was one of those 50-50s.
I think that's one of those you could flip a coin.
I wonder if that's one Landon got the last call, so we're going to give the defender this one.
Well, I thought the last one he might have had a better shot of, getting called for a charge.
I agree with you on that one. But hey, I stand by what I said though. I still like the aggressive take by Landon. You want him going up with that one on a fast break. But it's an 11-point game. Greenridge could cut this to single digits before the polylift boatlift third quarter comes to a close. Rivas on the point. Vbrock overplaying him a bit. On the outside, that is Hoos. Gives it up to Max Tyler. Now in the short corner, Mark with it. Working inside. Free throw line jumper. Won't climb the iron. Strong rebound, Cody Mosier. Bulldogs with the ball, an 11-point lead, 20 seconds to go. Mosier attacks the paint, puts it off the glass. Shot too strong. Rebound to Rivas of Greenridge. He wants to run. Long strides off the glass, up and in. It's a 9-point game. Was that a reach-in foul on Greenridge?
I don't know. I wrote it down and I heard a whistle.
I think the foul is actually going to go against Max Tyler. That is a foul you do not want if you're Greenridge, because now you're giving Stover two free throws.
2 free throws, yeah.
If you just cut it to single digits. So Ettinger back to the line where he was just moments ago. First free throw up and good. 47-37, lead back out at 10. Second free throw on the way. Up and good. So Stover reestablishes a double-digit lead at 11, 48-37. 5 seconds to go, and Greenridge was not aware of the clock as a half-court heave was lost. And the player looking at his coach going, I thought there was less time, man. I really did. So now Stover has enough time to get another one. Greenridge really kind of hurt themselves in these last 10 seconds of play.
Yes, they did.
Especially if Stover can get anything. You're Ettinger ahead. Mosier, he gets a look at a corner three. It won't go. So Greenridge avoiding a little bit of a bullet, but taking some of it there. 48-37, the Stover lead at the end of the polylift boatlift third quarter. We'll come back with fourth quarter action, find out who's moving on to the semifinals of the 68th annual Stover tournament. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Polylift boat lifts. You've got your home at the lake and you found the perfect boat. Now to just make sure the boat bottom stays clean and up out of the water. Polylift boat lifts. We've been the lake's choice for reliable boat lifts for over 40 years, and we offer a lifetime warranty on our tanks. We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
And we are getting ready for the Como Connect fourth quarter of action. Stover leads by 11, looking to punch their ticket to the semifinals of this 68th annual Stover tournament. And I mean, this opening round game is so huge. Not only are you the 5 seed playing the 4 seed if you're Stover, and that seems like a big win for you in those regards. You're playing a K-Singer foe, and no matter what happens after this game, you're in a trophy game on next Saturday.
Yeah, you're playing for some hardware, man. That's a big deal.
Oh, yeah, at a tournament you host, and I'm not saying this to sound rude towards Stover. It's been a few years since they've been in that trophy game. I can tell you when I was in school, I don't remember playing in the trophy game. It was a little different tournament back then. Somehow we always drew, Eldon or someone like that in the opening round. But
Sure.
still, this is a big game for these Stover Bulldogs. Ettinger harassed, turns the corner, right-hand scoop shot won't fall. Winds up in the hands of the Tigers. Back the other way is Greenridge. Trying to cut it back to single digits. Strong move inside. That's got to be a travel, and it is. Usually if me and the official both agree, it's a good sign that we might be right.
It's a done deal if that happens.
Or it means the official's having a really bad day. One of the two. That's 7:30 to go in the Como Connect fourth quarter of play. Once again, feel very confident that Versailles is going to hold on to their lead against Holden and move on to the semifinals to play the winner of this matchup. Belt spin move on the block, left hand off the glass and in. Jaron Belt. Offense, defense, rebounding, he's done it all. Greenridge trailing by 13 with the basketball. Rivas gets it inside, dishes it out to the corner. Tagging the short corner, Stover forcing them baseline. Good defense from Belt.
Yeah, another great job by Belt, man. Just standing there and taking it, not doing anything crazy.
I was going to say, Mark got inside. Belt's just there with his hands up in the right spot, and it's like you can't shoot over him.
It's not a block, but it is a contested shot.
And that is an Ettinger corner three knocked down.
That hurts right there.
53-37. Stover has blown this one back open. It's a 16-point lead. And Belt with another block shot. Three on the way from Greenridge. Belt with the board. Timeout called, and
lost a shoe. Got a blowout.
That's how hard Jay Monroe's played today. He has run right out of them shoes.
Yeah, literally, he was like 30 feet away from his shoe, too. He just left it.
He's like, I don't care. I got defense to play, or I got offense to play. Excuse me, I'll worry about it later. Is that more or less embarrassing if he would have came down and hit a shot on you with only one shoe? I feel like that's got to sting a little bit. Like, did he hit the shot? Yeah, and he only had one shoe on. Oh. So Stover on offense with a 16-point lead. On the outside, that is Nardi. Gives it up to Ettinger. Mid-range jumper won't go off the back iron. Rebound hauled in by Crawford, who is checked back in. He had some foul trouble there in the third quarter. Free throw line jumper up and good. A nice quick release from Lucas Mason. 53-39, 14-point game. Under 6 minutes to play in the Como Connect fourth quarter of action. Monroe's floater off the back iron and good. 55-39. I actually remembered something for once. You are listening to this broadcast on KTKS Versailles, Eldon, the Lake of the Ozarks, 95.1 FM, online, lakeradio.com, and streaming at MoSportsZone.com. As Greenridge, they keep going into the paint, and it's like they keep forgetting that Jaron Belt exists.
Yeah, he's very disciplined, man. He just stands there with them hands straight up. I like it.
You know, I should have known he was going to play this well. Look at the goggles he's got on.
Yeah.
Those are like the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar-esque goggles. And I think the only other player I can think that wore those were Horace Grant.
Horace Grant used to have a pair.
I mean, he was a great defender as well.
Kurt Rambis, man. You remember Kurt Rambis back in the day?
Well, I don't know that Kurt Rambis is what we want to see out of Jaron Belt. He might wind up fighting somebody in the fourth row.
I love Kurt Rambis, and I hated the Lakers.
Oh, it's hard not to love Kurt. Well, I tell you what, they want the timeout. We'll take the break as well. With 5:18 to play in the Como Connect fourth quarter, it's all Stover. 55-39, they lead Greenridge. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
It's been 4 days since I was last able to access Como Connect's sweet, sweet, blazing fast internet. I've been banished by my parents for playing online video games past this fictional time they call curfew, a law I don't remember seeing in the fine print of the household rules. I'm doomed to live without Como's accolade-receiving internet, but you don't have to share my horrid fate. Call to sign up for Como Connect's glorious internet by calling 844-99-FIBER or go to ComoConnect.com.
You're just grounded. It's not the end of the world.
Agree to disagree.
And we're back here in the Como Connect fourth quarter of play. 55-39 is the Stover lead over Greenridge. Let's get a look at a punch their clock, move into the semifinal, the championship side of this Stover tournament. No audio on what? I'm literally looking at it. Brent, I don't know what you're talking about here.
She doesn't either.
Says there's audio. Stover on offense, as I'm checking something because our camera person said something, and I don't know that I trust her. No.
Monroe with another deuce.
Who put that one in?
Jay Monroe.
Of course he did. Jay Monroe just continuing another big performance here in this one. 57-39. Stover has blown open an 18-point lead. They're thinking about Wednesday and playing at 6 o'clock. And a good board by Nardi off the miss from Greenridge. So, yeah, you can go ahead and mark it. Not to speak too early, but it's looking like we're going to have a 7-mile matchup. It's going to be Stover and Versailles in the semifinals of the 68th annual tournament. And look at the move on the block by, he couldn't finish it. Belt had him on a little spin move. Shot would fall. I almost think he got too open from it. And back the other way to contest the shot. Belt went up to stop the shot from going up. Nardi went low, stripped it off the leg of the Greenridge player. Back to the Bulldogs.
Versailles finished their game out 93-26, 67-point win.
Is that good?
It's pretty good. The record's 80. I had to double check it in the record book there, but it's got to rank up there with one of the biggest.
That's a decent way to open the Stover tournament if you're Versailles. Well, we'll catch up with Coach Walters before Wednesday's game and ask him about that one. And good defense played by Rivas as the ball forced out of bounds off the hands of Stover. Back to the Tigers. Thank you, JT. Greenridge with the ball, trailing by 18. Just about 4 minutes to go in the Como Connect fourth quarter. Nice hands by Monroe, but it's recovered by Greenridge. Going to the low block, working against Belt. He just goes straight up. He forces an errant shot, then gets the board, pass ahead to Nardi. A smart decision as he was in the double team, kicked it out. Monroe lines up another 6-3 of the morning for Jay Monroe. 60-39. It's a 21-point Stover lead. Jay Monroe says, give me the all-tournament team now. And what's the whistle? A jump ball going to be called. Active hands from the Stover defense. Possession arrow favors the Tigers. This has been impressive once again from this Stover defense.
Yeah, it's a great way to open the tournament, man.
Rivas has to go back and get it. Monroe nearly gets the steal. But quicker hands from Rivas to keep it alive. He's got to look in the corner, doesn't want it as Monroe out contesting him. Trying to go to the low block, nearly falling out of bounds was the player from Greenridge who had to throw it back and save it. Back into the backcourt where Crawford had to try to save it. But that will be an over and back ball back to the Bulldogs.
I think if I'm Stover, I start trying to work some of these guys out with no popped ankles at the end of a 20-point.
Yeah, we may see the bench get used here a little bit over this next 3 minutes of play. As a little bit of a hand check foul going to be called on Rivas. Just the first team foul. Ettinger's got a very quick first step.
He's played well today. He's played extremely well.
I mean, this whole Bulldog squad has. Even if it's just things like, Nardi came off the bench and he's rebounded well and played very good defense. Ettinger attacking the baseline, and he gets fouled on the way there before the shot gets put up. Okay, I just noticed one, maybe the most adorable thing you'll see today, Jason. You got the Stover cheerleaders down there?
Yeah, the little one there in the end.
I hadn't noticed that. She can't be but what, 6 or 7 years old down there in a little cheerleading uniform? That's adorable.
Yeah. Sitting there looking at it, you have Ettinger right now with 23 and Monroe with 24.
Really?
That's a pretty good little two-man
Wow.
bench.
And the inbounds to Belt. Spin move on the block, left hand up and in. He's just a sophomore.
He's got to have, I'm going to guess, really close to a double-double here.
I would say he probably has the double-double as a nice up and under move, getting the defender in the air and finishing is Wyatt Crawford. 62-41 with 2:45 to go. Monroe fouled on the other end. He'll go the line for two.
And who knows how many blocks he actually had today. Heck, he might be not too far from a triple-double, honestly.
I see the Versailles coaching staff and some of the players have funneled their way into the gym. Taking a look at the scoreboard, seeing who they're going to see in the next round. His first free throw up and in for Monroe. I mean, that's just got to be fun for both of these squads. You know each other. A lot of these guys have grown up together, played ball together, stuff like that. And second free throw good for Monroe as well, 64-41. So between now and Wednesday, there's going to be some texting and some smack talk. There's going to be a little getting hyped. It ought to be a full gymnasium on Wednesday,
in the
too.
next 30 minutes. It will start.
Yeah.
We'll probably have our sales kids down there shaking their hand as they come out of their locker room here in a second.
Sales kids are going to be in the high five line by the end. It's like, how'd you guys even get down here?
Mind games.
Little free throw line jumper won't go for Greenridge. Offensive board kept alive, blocked by Pelt. They're going to get him for the foul. Jaren's done everything else right today.
Yeah.
He can pick up a foul here and there. It's fine. And Jaren's sister, Amijah, was a fantastic basketball player as well.
I see her sitting up there in the stands right now, too.
I believe she went on and played ball at the State Fair afterwards, even. So I think the State Fair ladies are still rolling last time I saw. I know they lost one game, but that's it.
Yeah, it happens. Not very often to them, but it happens.
Second free throw up and long, and you had two guys going for the rebound for Stover, and they kind of fought against each other. Couldn't pull it in. A foul going to be called on Mosier, as now that will send Greenridge to the line. More specifically, Lucas Mason will shoot two. Yeah, I was kind of hoping, I was looking up there, trying to see if Josh was out there, but I don't see him. I was going to tell him to come over and talk to us if he did, but
he's probably trying to find a Dr. Pepper.
I mean, I can get him one if it gets him here. Free throw up and good. 64-43.
Yeah, we'll see his tan. He went on a cruise over Christmas break.
Really?
He probably been working on his tan.
They led him on a boat?
I guess.
Damn. 2:15 to go in Como Connect fourth quarter. Three line dub. Halfway down. Wouldn't go for Nardi. Good look, though. Greenridge back the other way. So Greenridge will move on to face Holden in the semifinals of the consolation side of this bracket. And a great pass on the back cut. Shot just wouldn't fall. But once again, that's the only thing for Stover that I'm saying when I get to practice is the three up and good. That was knocked down by Wyatt Crawford. I'm working on those offensive rebounds you gave up.
Yeah, you don't want to give up them second chance points like that, man, for not rebounding.
No,
that can really cost you this next round.
That's what I'm saying. If you're playing a high-scoring team like we know Versailles can, you definitely want to limit their looks. Nardi, he'll try another three from the corner. This one long. Offensive board, though, pulled in and kept alive by Vinny Karstens. Stover being patient on offense, works it around. Mosier's right-hand layup rolls on the iron but falls off. He gets his own miss, kicks it out. Nardi tries a three from the top of the key and splashes it home.
Nice shot, Parker.
Parker Nardi from downtown. 67-46. Stover back up by 21 with just over a minute to play. And it's a steal by Mosier. He wants to run, leading the fast break. Off the glass, switches to the right hand. It won't go. Nardi keeps it alive. His putback won't go. And Ettinger pulls in the offensive board. So he's going to pull it out. More than happy to see that clock just tick away. I don't even know if Stover cares to take another shot, as Landon's just kind of standing out there, and it's one of those, if you're not going to come guard me, we can end the game this way. Oh, but he'll shift gears, drives to the corner, lines up a three for Nardi. It's short, tipped around, and offensive rebound control. In a bit of trouble is Vinny Karstens in the corner. He gives it up. Ettinger at the top of the key with 30 seconds to play. He'll attack again. Turns the corner, a little spin move, back out to the corner. Vinny tries a three and knocks it down. I think that was one of those Stover was going to just let the clock run out. But if you're going to overplay, you've got to do something. And that something led to a corner three, 70-46. Bulldogs have come out and made a statement in this game.
I thought Greenridge would have one more big run in him and kind of tighten this down. But, man, I was wrong on this.
No, I'm telling you, this has been very impressive from the Stover Bulldogs. Greenridge trying to get inside. Shot up, won't go. Good defense by the Bulldogs. Better offense, though, as the putback up and good. That shot fell for Wyatt Broche. He's got an opportunity to three-point play with just 7 seconds to go. So just 7 seconds. All we're deciding here is the final score. Is Broche's three-point opportunity up and good. 70-49, and that's how the game is going to come to a close. Stover takes out Greenridge in the opening round of the 68th annual Stover tournament. They punch their ticket to the semifinals, where they have a date with the Tigers of Versailles. Post-game show coming up in just a moment. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Family owned since 1915, Stover Milling Company is ready to serve you. As a Purina dealer, they specialize in feed and liquid feed. Stover Milling also offers custom beef cattle ration balancing. Spring is right around the corner, so ask about their buggy rental or spreader truck this fertilizer season. That's Stover Milling Company, located at 101 Maple Street in downtown Stover. Give them a call at 573-377-2611. Stover Milling Company, ready to serve you today.
Hey guys, Colton Taylor here. When it comes to my hair and beard, there's only one man that I trust, and that's Barbering by Brock in Stover. Whether you're after a straight shave, quick trim, or a full-blown haircut, Brock's the guy to go see. Located right off Highway 52 in Stover, next to Vera Cruz Jr. You can give him a call at 573-539-5113, and be sure to follow him on Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram. That's Barbering by Brock in Stover.
Veracruz Mexican Restaurant wants to invite you to join them for a casual lunch or family dinner out for authentic Mexican cuisine. Veracruz has a great selection of burritos, tacos, seafood, enchiladas, salads, and more, all prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Veracruz on South Highway 5 in Versailles and Veracruz Jr. on Highway 52 in Stover. Or you can check out their new location on Highway 65 in Lincoln. Veracruz Mexican Restaurant, a proud sponsor of local athletics.
At Citizens Farmers Bank, they want to help make your banking experience easier, whether it's setting up a new account, depositing a check, or showing your team spirit with a new debit card showing the Stover Bulldogs or Cole Camp Bluebirds. With 3 locations, they're ready to serve you in Stover, at Cole Camp, or a drive-through location also in Cole Camp. You can also visit their Shazam ATMs available at all 3 locations. That's Citizens Farmers Bank, hometown banking with your neighbors and friends.
Member FDIC.
And we are back getting ready for the post-game show here. That is the Shed post-game show after Stover puts a stamp on this one. 70-49. They knock off the Greenridge Tigers and punch their ticket to the semifinals of this 68th annual Stover tournament. It's the 68th annual boys side of the Stover tournament. And I was looking here, scoring by quarter for the Bulldogs. 19, 17, 12, and 22. For Greenridge, 8, 12, 17, and 12. I mean, Stover was dominant from start to finish, Jason. It wasn't just offense. Their defense was impressive.
I thought their defense was actually better than the offense, to be honest with you. The defense is what led to a lot of their offense.
No, I agree. The guards were aggressive, overplaying and jumping passing lanes. And then if you did get inside, you had Mr. Belt waiting for you, who either blocked your shot, contested your shot, or made you sit there and think about your shot.
Yeah, it's nice. You can play overly aggressive, and the guards can play overly aggressive, because if you do get beat by them, you've got Belt back there cleaning everything up. So,
and I just appreciate the fact so much that Belt does not swing. He just goes straight up with both hands, and it's one of those, if you want to shoot it into my hands, that's fine. Otherwise, you're going to have to figure out how to arch this thing over me. It was an impressive showing, but offensively, who was getting it done for Stover?
Well, it was a pretty good showing today. Jay Monroe led the way with 26 points and had those 4 threes in the first quarter to kind of really set the tone for this game right out the gate. Landon Edinger came in with 23, so that's a pretty good 2-man punch right there. Jaron Belt with 8. I'm going to guess he had double-digit rebounds and close to double digits in blocks. You have Cody Mosier with 7, and Benny Carson's with a 3 there at the end, and Parker Nardi with a 3 there at the end. And I think that pretty much rounds out the scoring for the Bulldogs.
Well, it was a great showing, as once again they advanced to the semifinals of this Stover tournament. On the other side, by the way, your wife was giving me the sign that you're supposed to check your phone at some point. On the other side, Versailles won dominantly in their game over Holden. It was a 60-something point victory. Did you tell me what, Ryder had 42?
43.
43.
What I'm being told.
That was, that's an okay game. That's not bad. So those two will meet up 7 miles apart on the map But they are on a collision course for each other Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Of course, we will have coverage of that game. Coming up a little later today, by the way, we will be back with the Stover and Versailles ladies, but I remind you, that game is on MoSportsZone.com. It'll be streaming online, but on the radio, we do have Mizzou basketball. So, contractually, we can't override that, so we will have the ladies matchup at MoSportsZone.com. Tell your friends, tell your families. I see Coach Walters over there, but I cannot get his attention to save my life. I was wondering if he wanted to give us some sort of an update about the game, but
Give him a little message here.
yeah, go ahead and try that. I'm also holding on, hoping that Coach Pace or Coach Espinoza will come up and talk to us. But yeah, it was a great showing from Stover here in this one. And this next round has a lot of different possibilities to it. If you're Stover, if you can come out and play that kind of defense, then that could potentially give Versailles some problems. You're going to have to play that kind of defense to slow down the scoring that we've seen out of the Versailles Tigers. And on the flip side from Versailles, it's, which Versailles squad are we going to see in this round? I'm not trying to speak ill of them, but let's just be honest. Do we get the Versailles squad that just won by 60? Do we get the Versailles squad that, from what I've heard, all accounts didn't play very well against California? You never know what's going to happen in that next match.
California and Knob Noster games are two that Versailles, we beat Knob Noster at two that we really weren't happy with. And we had a lot of sickness. We had some things, but still at the end of the day, if you're going to be the team that you think you are this year, you got to be able to play through that stuff. So hopefully Versailles got a little break mentally and physically and reset it, and they're ready to get it going.
So I love when this times out absolutely terribly. I see Coach Walters walking over, but also Coach Pace coming up.
Give them both a heads up.
We're going to
get it going.
We'll get you in just a second. Tony's coming up too. I want to get Tony real quick, and then we'll pull you on, okay? Yeah. We just got too many people going. As I tell you what, I just realized my camera froze up from something. And we're joined now by the head coach of the Stover Bulldogs, head coach Tony Pace. Coach Pace, how'd you feel about your squad in this one?
We look pretty solid.
Helps if I turn your microphone on when I ask you that. Now let's try that again. Coach Pace, how'd you feel about your squad?
Well, we look pretty solid today. We've had some sickness running through and some practices where we're a little shorthanded due to some illness and some injuries. And so we were a little worried about how we come out today, but we came out hot and played good, solid defense. Our defense did a great job locking them up and making it difficult for them to get in good looks.
Man, talking about that defense, the guards were playing, clamping defense, but then when players got on the inside, talk to me a little bit about Jaron Belt. The kid, it seems like he either blocks, contest, or makes you think that he's going to block every shot when you get in the paint.
Yeah, he does a really good job, and he gets up, he's really long, gets up really quick, does a good job for the most part staying on the floor. We had a couple little lapses that wasn't just Jaron, but in those lapses we had some of our guards lost track of their defenders, and then Jaron bought a ball fake, which he rarely does. But those little lapses, down the road could hurt us, but we're going to get those fixed and be ready to go. But, yeah, he does a great job. And Cody Mosier, when Jimmy went down with his ankle, Cody's had to play some more post. Parker Nardy's come in and played some post. And that's not really their natural position, but they do a great job in there blocking out, being strong, and playing good post defense.
I was very impressed with your defense for sure. And then offensively, so was it actually written in the game plan that Jay Monroe was going to come out and do his best Larry Bird impersonation tonight, or what? He was red hot from the get-go.
Well, I think he has been in the gym for the last 2 weeks about every day. He started off the season shooting pretty well, and then he went through about a 3-game stint where he was not shooting the way he wanted to. And I will say he is a gym rat, and about every time I show up to the school, he's here somehow or trying to get in if he can get in and shoot. And it's really helped. Being at home a little bit, we played at the Hy-Vee Arena, and that's a different background. It's kind of a cavern, so that kind of threw him off a little bit. But, he does a great job when he gets hot, knowing when he's hot. And we had a game last year where he hit 5 in the second half. We had a game earlier this year that he hit 4 in the fourth quarter. He's capable of doing that. It's just a matter of getting him going. And he, like I said, he's been really working on a shot, making sure he's ready to go.
If there was one weakness, one thing out of your squad maybe that I saw that could need any improvement, is there anything you can do to clean up some of the offensive rebounds that were given up?
Yeah, and part of that I think is we have went a long time without running man, and we ran a lot of zone, and we're running more man this year, and several of those that you're probably talking about came during the time I would consider our mental lapse, where we kind of just lost track of what was going on, and maybe lost our man, and then the next person's helping, so they're not in the right rebound position. And they also had a couple rebounds, I will say. the first bucket of the game, we played great defense. We forced an air ball that missed the rim by about 1.5 feet, and the kid that got it was almost out of bounds. You know, we're in perfect rebound position, but that's basketball. That's how it happens. And so there's several of those. We're gonna keep working on our mental game and making sure we're focused all the way through. And we, you know, as we get to better teams and closer to districts, we're not going to be able to have those mental lapses and still recover from it. So we're going to try to get that fixed.
Well, a big win as you guys punch your ticket to the semifinals, and you're going to meet up with a district foe in the semifinals where you see the Versailles Tigers. How big would it be for your squad to get that win in the semifinals, potentially go to the championship of the tournament you host?
Well, one of our goals at the beginning of the season is to make sure we get 2 wins out of every tournament. You know, we try not to focus on. Obviously, we focus on the team we're playing. And the place we're at. But one of our goals this year was we've gotten 2 wins out of the tournaments the last 2 years, but they've always been on the losers bracket. So we want to make sure we're in that winners bracket. So it's just today getting in the winners bracket of our own tournament's a big deal. So playing on next Saturday in one of the last 2 games will be great for us. You know, we'll spend a couple days getting ready for Versailles, and then we'll see where we're at.
All right. Well, your team looked great. A big win. You're in the winners bracket, and we'll be back with you guys Wednesday at 6 o'clock as you face off with a chance to punch yourself to the championship game of this Stover tournament. And thank you, by the way, for having us here and all the.
Oh, sure.
We always appreciate coming over. It's such a fun tournament to work.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you guys being here and the publicity. We try to run one of the best tournaments around, and we got a really good turnout. We've added some different teams this year, which I think will enhance our tournament over the next couple of years. As our school's gotten bigger and we've moved up classes, you know, we added Boonville, which is a Class 4, and we added Knob, which is either a big Class 3 or a Class 4, and Russellville's always usually solid. They're a little down on the boys this year, but they're going to get Coach LaBelle will get them back up, and their girls are solid. So that's 3 new teams we've added to our normal, pretty competitive mix. So we're looking forward to the future of the tournament and continuing the success and having teams wanting to come.
Well, it's a lot of fun, and once again, we're having a blast being here, but we will be back with you guys Wednesday at 6 o'clock. And Coach, congratulations on a big win.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
That is Tony Pace, head coach of the Stover Bulldogs, as they punch their ticket to the championship bracket of the 68th annual Stover tournament. Well, they will meet off with the Versailles Tigers, and we'll get Coach Walters hooked up here in just a second as we'll talk to him after a big win for his Tigers that we weren't able to see. Sorry, as I'm fumbling myself here, trying to figure out where I'm at. Big win, Stover, Versailles, 7-mile rivalry, if you want to call it that. I'm sure there's an actual name. It's a border war of sense. It's the Morgan County rivalry. It's a lot of kids that know each other probably too well that are going to be facing off on Wednesday.
Yeah, there's no strangers in that game. Everybody knows each other.
Yeah, there's no secrets, no anything, but it'll be a lot of fun. The 2 coaches actually talking right now as we'll get Coach Walters mic'd up in this one. We can get a recap of his game. Coach Walters, sorry we couldn't be over there for your game, but it sounds like your team showed up pretty well today.
Yeah, played well for having some time off here over Christmas break.
Give us a little bit of a recap. It sounds like you jumped out to a bit of an early lead.
Yeah, we started out pressing in the game, getting turnovers, and then our goal today was to look to run the floor a little bit. And the guys, I thought, did a really good job getting out and forcing steals and getting layups and open threes out of it.
Now, were you able to rotate some players through as the game went on then with that big of a lead early?
Yeah, we got everybody in, which, you know, as a coach, you kind of want everybody to play. Some games it's a little bit easier than others, but this was an opportunity for us, and some kids got quite a few minutes today. So.
Well, that's always good to see. Now, coming off of Christmas break, you've had some time away. You know, you've had players go do different things. Maybe you went and got a tan on a cruise. Whatever the case may be, you come back. Is it hard to get your players refocused and locked in?
No. Like I said before all the time when we talk, these kids like basketball. So anytime we have that gym open, whether it's practice or open gym, they want to be there and they want to play. They want to get better. That's just their mindsets.
Now, moving forward on Wednesday, 6 o'clock, you'll face off with a team that, well, most of these kids know each other pretty well. I mean, 7 miles away from each other. They grew up together. Versailles and Stover are going to battle it out. Do you know much about the Bulldogs, or is there going to be a lot of film watched before that one?
I'll have to watch some film. I don't like to ever get too far ahead when I watch film because I get too much stuff in my brain and then I lose track of what we're doing. So I'll watch some film here the next couple days, and hopefully we have a good game plan and we can come out and try to get a win on Wednesday.
Well, it could be a big one as you could advance your way back to the championship of this Stover tournament, a place where your squad was last year. And that's the last thing, not to bring up bad memories, but is there a little bit to a degree of revenge on the mind? This tournament didn't necessarily end the way you wanted it to last year. Do you think any of your boys still have that bad taste in their mouth and would like to maybe reset it this year?
I would say no. You know, last year when we played Eugene in that championship game, they shot the ball really, really well. I think at one point we're at like 75%.
Wow.
They shot the ball really, really well. Like we talked, our mindset, we focus on the next game. It doesn't matter who we play. Our next one right now is Stover, and that's going to be our focus, because if we don't take care of that championship game doesn't matter. We wouldn't be in it. So we have to focus on Wednesday and do what we have to do to get that opportunity. And then whoever we play, we have to play our best to win. So
it makes sense to me. Well, Coach Walters will be with your squad Wednesday, 6 o'clock, right here in the Dome. It'll be the Bulldogs and the Tigers. Appreciate you coming over. Congrats on a big opening round win, man.
Thank you.
That is Coach Josh Walters, head coach of the Versailles Tigers, as they also punch their ticket to the semifinals championship side of the bracket, and they will face off with the Stover Bulldogs on Wednesday. Well, the games are going to keep going today. We will be back at 2:30 at MoSportsZone.com. It'll be the Stover and Versailles girls battling it out in that one. Reminder, not on the radio. It will only be online. And we'll go ahead and put a wrap on this broadcast so we can set JT free back in the studio. Special thanks once again to JT Girl for engineering this studio. Jason and I will be back here, or this broadcast. Man, I can't talk. I've got to get words figured out before we get to our next game. Jason, before we wrap it up, do you have any final thoughts before we let it go, Jason?
No, it was a great opening round for Stover and Versailles both, and it's going to make for a very entertaining second round, in my opinion. So,
looking forward to it on Wednesday. We'll be back this afternoon with more. For JT back in the studio, he's Jason, and I'm Colton. This has been another presentation of KS95 Sports. Good night.
You've been listening to coverage of the Stover Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament on KS95. Coverage of this basketball game was brought to you by